Let's get into it, baby.
Ah, yeah, it's time to travel and bang, baby.
This is Travel and Bang. I am Marky Bravo, the mulatto. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Here to talk about the dark arts of seduction and the nuance of game. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you came. Show you as Army veterans some love. Hit that subscribe button and share with all your family and friends so you can also extend the message worldwide. Okay, so this episode, I want to focus in on being a chicken hawk. It's a term that's not so familiar. It's more popular within the US military community. So a chicken hawk, for those who haven't saw my other videos, is a man that usually has sexual encounters with married women or women who have long-term relationships, in-house boyfriends, okay? So if you're a man who does this more than once, you are a chicken hawk. It's a pretty snappy little, I don't know if it's really an insult to be called one. It just depends how somebody is using it. It could be derogatory. Okay, so a lot of men send emails to me and ask me about that. You know what I mean? Would you have sexual carnal knowledge of a woman who's already married or has an in-house relationship partner, i.e. life partner, if you want to call that in-house boyfriend? I don't even know if there's a word for it, but someone that she's living with. Okay, I want to put this like this, okay? I want to set the rule book down so you know if you're going to do it, you're going to do it safe. You're going to be secretive. Keeping secrets like a Freemason is very important. And you want to be mature about this, okay? For all the moralists out there that are going to throw tomatoes and eggs at me for bringing this video out, I just want to say my firm belief is when you're with somebody who has a high SMV, a high sexual market value, meaning they're considered to be a person in demand by a large population of their communities, whether they're super duper good looking or for a man's sake, he makes 7 figures or more, you know what I mean? Which is a very small percent of men, believe it or not, who make 7 figures and up. Most men don't. We're under the false assumption on that. But when we're talking about people with high SMVs, you can call it cheating all you want. But the reality, what history has always looked upon it as, is a woman or a man exercising their options, okay? That's basically what it is. If you want somebody who's not going to exercise their options, who's going to tell you the truth all the time, then I always tell people you need to get with somebody who your sexual market value isn't that high. Less people are wanting to be with them. They don't have that many options. Or get with someone who's very, very religious. You notice people who are super duper religious, they're Christians, born again Christians, they belong to Islam, or, these type of hard discipline type of cultures. Not to say it doesn't happen in those cultures, but I'm saying in an Abrahamic super religious faith, a lot of times you do have where just people are 100% just dedicated to each other. Sometimes, well, you know what I mean? But the average person is going to exercise their options. That is just the reality. That is just the reality. My experience with being a chicken hawk has never been, I'm going out there directly to take advantage. And I hate that word take advantage because we all have a free will to do what we want. Take advantage of women who happen to be married or have boyfriends. It's usually the women I've ran into don't even tell me about their husband or their super serious boyfriend that they're basically living with. You know what I mean? They don't even tell me that. And then, as most women, because their slut defense mechanism, I call it, kicks in, when they do have to bring up their partner, they'll usually tell you something like, yeah, it's not that serious. We just started seeing each other, which is a blatant lie. Or they'll say, oh, me and my husband we're on our way out. You know what I mean? We're already kind of separated. We still live together, but we're headed to Divorce Boulevard. You know what I mean? And women will usually always use these main responses because they don't want to be looked upon as a dirty, conniving, two-faced, cheating little whore. Okay? So that's what most women will tell you if they're forced to tell you about their partners. Now, you will meet sometimes really direct alpha women who will tell you straight up, hey, listen, player, I'm married. Or, hey, John, I have an in-house boyfriend. I think we can hang out. We can enjoy some time together, but I'm not giving up what I have for anybody. So when we're together, we'll do what we do, but when I'm with so-and-so, hands off. Don't blow up the spot. Don't text me, don't call me. I'll text or call you. But very few women are like that. They're not that direct, okay? Now, there are some women where you do run into them, and in the conversation, you find out they're married, okay? Or, they're spoken for. And say you're just the type of guy, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna chicken hawk this shit. I don't care. The best response when a woman tells me through conversation, oh, I don't, ask them out, and they say, I don't think my boyfriend or husband would approve. This is the good comeback, is to say, that's all right. He can keep you busy when you're not with me. That's all right. He can keep you busy when you're not with me. Usually that brings a big smile on the woman's face, and you're throwing out the psychological bait. She's already starting to entertain something in her thought right there. And that's when I told all the gentlemen out there that you should have a business card made. You know what I mean? I think they got digital business cards now for phones, but I like the old school paper business card, okay? With your name, put your photo maybe on there, and you say, listen, if you ever want to hang out, if you change your mind, holler, communicate with me. Send me a text or give me a call. I won't tell if you won't tell. I'm not here to judge. If you say it just like that, I've gotten several, not all, I got several women who probably would have never, ever, you know what I mean, cheated, to basically go out with me and become sexually intimate with me. Okay? Usually, I want to lay the rule book down. If you're going to do this, honestly, in all professional demeanor and being an adult about it, you probably, if you're really good at this, you just want to do it one time with the woman. A one night stand, as they call it. Just a one-time thing. Or if you're really gotta have it, I would tell all men to only meet her up to become sexual, to do your naked tango, so she can do double monkey backflips with you in bed once every month. Once every 3 weeks or once every month. And the reason being is a lot of times when people get caught, when the woman gets caught by her significant other, it's because she's constantly meeting the dude up on the side, constantly fucking the guy, fucking, to the point where when her significant other at home wants to become sexually intimate with her, she's no longer in the mood. Why? Because as the old saying goes, people who have food on the plate and who are eating are not hungry. And that's how people get caught up. Once that situation happens, 9 times out of 10, the man knows what's up. And then becomes very suspicious on where she's going. And gentlemen, we live in a day and era where you can buy, for affordable price, a homing device, something a person can slip in a woman's purse, and basically with the GPS, follow the car or see where the car is going on a GPS, and then just show up out of nowhere. So that's why it's very dangerous. I want to tell you a real quick story before I wrap this up. There was a well-known rapper from Atlanta, Georgia. He was up and coming. He had a lot of respect within the prominent hip-hop Southern hip-hop community. Everyone called him Trouble. That's what his rap nickname was, Trouble. Trouble had a knack for having sexual intimate affairs with women who were spoken for. Well, bumped into a woman who supposedly broke up with her boyfriend a week before. Well, the guy wasn't over her. Trouble went over her place, started banging her. Her former 1 week old ex-boyfriend, right, basically kicked the door down and shot Trouble to death. I mean, I'm bringing this up so you know how dangerous this can be. That, yeah, it's pleasurable. Yeah, you and the woman are going to have the most explosive sex because your adrenaline's rushing. Ooh, we might get caught. Ooh, you know what I mean? It's so forbidden. It's so taboo. So the sex is on fire. It's explosive because of that. But I also want to warn people, gentlemen, not to get caught up in that and then seeing the woman every other day or every weekend and thinking you're not going to get caught. And it can turn really ugly. You know what I mean? A mature adult man will bow out if they find out their girlfriend or wife is doing things on the side, right? But then you have the other percentage, they get violent, okay? You might get beat to a pulp and end up in the hospital, or you just might get shot or stabbed to death. So that is a warning on being a chicken hawk. Discretion is advised. If you're gonna do it, no paper trails. Don't send her raunchy messages, you know what I mean, on her phone, because the man, her man can get it and read it. I know one of my homeboys, my friend Cliff Jumper, he's having sexual intimate relations with a married woman right now out in Arizona. It's a Mexican chick, he's saying, and we'll keep it at that. I'm gonna say no names. And she has 2 phones. You know what I mean? She has 2 phones. She has her phone, and then she has a burner phone, a throwaway phone. You know what I mean? For when she does stuff like that, so her significant other, her husband, doesn't get his hands on it. You understand? There's other ways, other tricks that women do as well, but we're not here for that. My thing is no paper trails. If you're gonna send photos, dick pics, and if she's gonna send you naughty photos, Snapchat, that's what Snapchat was originally designed for, photos that disappear. And also, you should only be she should not be your bottom bitch. She's spoken for. She has a man. That woman, you're chicken hawking, you should only be seeing her once every 3 weeks, once every month. That's it. Something to look forward to. It's a special occasion. Other than that, the women you should be talking to outside of that should be all single. There should not be this leering threat of another person finding out and it turning ugly. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's some of the most explosive, hot, passionate, wet, raunchy sex you can ever have. You know what I mean? Having intimate encounters with a woman who's she's spoken for, right? Hey, and like I said, that is the advice I can say. Use condoms. I would personally advise you to use condoms. You wouldn't end up in some Jerry Springer situation where she ends up pregnant and now you and another dude trying to figure out whose baby it is. We don't need all that drama. Condoms and be the pullout king, like Mwa. Okay? So there you go, is the chicken hawk rules. You know what I mean? All the way from how to tempt the woman to bait her in. And remember, you don't want to be the guy who only gets off on doing this. It's dangerous. Have fun. It's an experience if you do experiencing it. And as long as you do that, you will not get caught, and you won't have any weird shit go down. And it should be a mature thing between you and a woman. You know what I mean? The woman knows, hey, she can't cheat or, exercise her options more than a couple times within the year. And I would say real quick, relationships become familiar. I know some people are thinking like that. Why would they do that? Blah, blah, blah. Because relationships become familiar. When you're with the same person for a very long time and you're fucking them all the time, sex, it still feels good, but it becomes very familiar. So that as a dude always told me, that strange pussy, right? Or for a woman, that strange dick, that guy she has it was not familiar, you know what I mean? It's a very explosive, very hot, wet, sensual, raunchy, you know, sex. You know what I mean? Triple X sex that you're not going to get that from your partner back at home because it's familiar. And that's why people do it. And let's face it, you only have one life to live, right? That's also, we all recognize we want to enjoy life. We want to have as many enjoyable experiences that we're capable of having. And in a weird way, people who do that are selfish. We're all selfish. And as long as the other person, it's fucked up I say this, as long as they don't find out, you know what I mean? And you keeping the secrets like a Freemason, then, you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to end like a drama talk show Jerry Springer where, you know, the person finds out and I mean, come on, let's be honest. Why do you think women go to these vacations? They go to, you know, Jamaica to get their groove back, or they go to Las Vegas, or I heard about the Beach Boys out in these Asian islands out in Asia, the Beach Boys. Come on, you know what's going down there. I even had an experience, you can say chicken hawking, when I was going through Dubai. I was coming back from Kuwait. I ran into a table full of five beautiful Australian ladies, right? And I ended up fucking one of the women at the table. It was like a book club. They had this meeting talking about the latest book they were reading. I know, drinking some martinis, discussing books. Really, it's weird. But anyway, so I ended up fucking the blonde at the table. You know, she came back to the hotel room, and I asked her later because I really wanted to know. You've been married like almost 20 years. Why do you do this? She says, do what? Why would you go back to this hotel with me and you know, do double monkey backflips on top of me, you know, participate in the sexual Olympics, if you will. And she said, listen, Marky, she said, I only do this once a year to get it out of my system. She said, I've been married to this man for almost 2 decades. I had his children. I deal with all his bullshit. She said, once a year, I need to get it out of my system. I want to have nasty, raunchy, passionate, hardcore fuck with somebody that I'm not deeply emotionally connected to. She said, it's just the way it is. And I really enjoyed that moment of honesty. And I didn't judge her. Why would I? The sex was explosive, asombroso.